Okay.
Welcome.
Nope. Welcome.
To the Color and Life podcast.
Or welcome back, whichever matches the experience you have. I'm Jennifer.
And I'm John Michael.
I am... We can be found at www.colorandlifepodcast.com, on Instagram as @colorandlifepodcast, and...
You Junip on social media.
Junip on social media.
Sorry.
No. Genuine Knits on social media.
Junip on Ravelry. And yes. I'm Sandboxer7 on Ravelry and nowhere else.
Okay.
This is episode 33, part 2.
Yes, it is.
We expect it to be uploaded Tuesday, August 22nd.
You do?
No.
I just drank some water.
Yeah,
but I don't know that I even did any on camera.
Yeah, so. We have water. We have all the alongs. We have Maker of the Month, which is...
Liz from Colorful Eclectic.
Yes. I wanted you to say it. I didn't forget.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I didn't forget.
Anyway.
Come on.
And then we have a conversation.
Yep.
And we had a question from a viewer.
We did.
And it said to be continued.
To be continued.
Anyway. Alrighty.
On with the show.
On with the show.
All the alongs.
We have all the alongs.
Yes. Starting with the Festivus for the rest of us.
Yes.
Make along.
Which is hashtag Festivus for the rest of us, MAL.
Yes. Once again, happy Christmas, Hanukkah, Ramadan, Kwanzaa.
Yes. And solstice.
We are, if you haven't guessed yet, it's basically anything holiday related.
Holiday
if you can convince us that it is a gift or a decoration or some sort of holiday related thing that could fall under the category of...
It works.
Yeah. So that is the things that are entailed in this cal.
UFO and the Done and Beautiful thread.
Yes.
Even for your Done and Beautifuls, even if you're just entering a Done and Beautiful, please put it in the UFO thread as well. I know it seems a little counterintuitive, but that way people can comment on your thing and it won't mess up the Done and Beautiful count for drawings, and you'll be entered twice.
Yep. So...
For prizes.
Yeah.
So we have our design along. That is any pattern that John Michael or I design. So far, any pattern I design. You can either knit or test knit.
Hey, I helped with the shawl that we
You're helping with the shawl,
yeah.
Yes. So, that should be shown next time. And our stuff, any of our patterns, you could also enter multiple times, potentially into other cals, including the Brooklyn Knits cal, because she has a promoting lesser known designers, and we happen to be lesser known designers.
Yes. So any pattern that has less than 30 projects on Ravelry is eligible for her knit along.
Mm-hmm. And you could also double dip in our Festivus for the rest of us.
If it's a gift for someone else.
Mm-hmm. All right.
That's all the alongs. Now it's time for Maker of the Month.
Maker of the Month.
Which this time we are showcasing her fiber. Most of it already spun up. The first one is... Oh, sorry. Her is Liz from Colorful Eclectic.
They're still Agent M and Tangent.
Yes, and this one is Undiluted Balderdash.
And again, the purples are really purple.
Are more purple. Much more purple.
Not blue. I don't know why they're coming through.
Substantially more purple.
Yeah.
So that's this. And actually, those socks are the same...
Some of the same colors, yeah. The Wisteria Bridge. Some of the same colors.
Oh, they're not the same colorway? Mm-hmm. Oh, never mind then.
So...
Another one is this, which we showed in our spinning episode.
Pink lemonade.
Um,
That's on Polworth silk. Did
It
you say
is.
what fiber that other one was?
no, I forgot. What was it?
BFL. Superwash
BFL. The other one was Superwash BFL. This one's on Polworth silk, which is a wonderful
And both
mixture.
of these are just 2 braids that I got and then spun the singles and then plied them together.
Yeah, and this and her Polworth silk, it practically drafts itself.
All of her stuff
wonderful.
just drafts. All of it, I was able to just take and draft off the end. It's been wonderful to spin with her stuff.
Yep.
Why don't you pull out the
Yeah, here. Hold that. Which one?
matches my shirt. The gray, the not brokenhearted. Move the spindle. There.
Ah. And this one is Not Brokenhearted, also by Colorful Eclectic.
And she has that in a colorway as well. It's a striped.
Yarn.
Yeah. It is.
Is that it?
Yep, this is it.
Oh. Got our
This
chairs
is it.
locked.
The not brokenhearted has more black. Well, it's dark when.
And there's more pink in this. There's more pink than is being shown. I think our red outfits are washing out the camera a little bit, so it's not
A little bit, but this still ends up being more. The fiber, of course, because you draft it, is grayer, but it's just both of them are just exquisitely gorgeous. So this is not brokenhearted, and this is on Sparkle. Every time I see this, I want to buy a skein. Every time.
That's
and I have
true
to
of
keep-
all yarn, Mother. That's true of all yarn.
That's true of a lot of yarn.
You
But-
need to stop.
I have 2 up here.
Put this one
already.
back.
Yeah. But every time I think, oh, I need another one of that, and I just love her.
And if I'm not around to say no, you don't.
talking back the other
she
way.
does.
So I'm talking behind me, so you probably couldn't hear that. But anyway, I love her yarns a lot. There's a bunch there and there, and
Over there.
the decays are over here.
Anyway, so that's our Maker of the Month.
that's our Maker of the Month.
Her shop is www.colorfuleclectic.com.
Yeah, I don't think we said any
And
of
the
that.
coupon code is
It will have been on the screen
Color
for a while.
Life Color Life 20 Color Life 10.
Yeah, and I will have put it on the screen for a while.
Yep, and it is for 10% off.
All right, so what now? We talking?
Yes, now it is time to conversate.
All right, we're conversating. We're conversing?
Nope, conversating.
No, that's not a word.
It totally is.
We gotta stop saying that. Okay. So, time for our conversation. What are we talking about?
Well, last time we talked about spinning, which that was fun.
Jinx.
So this time our topic is about charts.
Yep.
We're talking about charts because we are designing stuff that has charts in it. Lots of charts.
Yep.
And we've been working with charts. Lots of charts. So we figured.
And some people have some really strong
let's talk
opinions about charts.
Yeah, some people do.
And some people won't knit.
Some people have really strong opinions about charts.
Some people won't knit anything that has a chart. If it has a chart, they won't do it.
Some people write stuff up into charts so that they can knit it.
Out of charts. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I like both. I
Like,
find both
My
helpful and useful.
Yeah, my personal experience of like whether it should be charted or not is if it's in the round, don't chart it.
Why?
Unless it's a hat, unless it's a really lacy hat. Like that's where
Why
it would be
wouldn't you
okay to
chart
chart
it?
it. Because it's harder to chart increases and decreases in the round. Like I would never ask a stuffy to be charted. Just because it wouldn't tell you anything. It would be so useless.
Huh. Well, color work would needs to be charted.
True. Color work should always be charted, in my opinion. And so should lace. So like if it's a lace hat, probably chart it and do like the little split thing where you just have a gray section because, you know.
No, some people might not know.
It's like how you see a map of the world and it's got split bits because it got smaller and the fabric of space-time doesn't warp like that, so you have to it has to be flat.
Okay.
Mapping a sphere onto a flat thing, it has problems.
Okay.
And I could explain them, but I don't think most people would care. So
some charts will have dark spaces.
Yeah, some charts will have dark spaces. But like I would only ever think of that for like a hat. Cuz like usually mitts, it's like a lace panel on the back.
Just the panel could be charted.
Yeah, exactly. And then you don't have to have like, but if it's like the whole thing is in the round, and especially if it's just like a whole bunch of stockinette, you know?
There are some definite advantages to having things charted, though.
Yes, if it's not knit in the round, I would almost always ask for a chart.
Even if it's knit in the round, because socks knit in the round, it's very handy to have a chart. My cable socks.
Right, but that was a panel.
It went all the way around the leg.
Really?
Uh-huh. It went up the foot and then all the way around the leg.
Okay.
So
basically just not stuffies. That's what this conversation.
You would draw the line, but what if
just
it was
don't.
What if
don't
it
do
was a color work?
No.
What if it was a color work on the front of your stuffy?
Well, then do a panel. You don't get to color work your whole stuffy, okay?
Why not?
Because I'm not gonna knit that pattern.
Or design that pattern?
Nope.
Okay. Well.
Staying away from colorwork stuffies. So, yeah, pretty much anything else.
Okay, people
anything flat should be charted, in my opinion.
In your opinion.
And stuff in the round, you know, it's kind of a. Is it more complicated to write it out? Row for row?
I think you're talking to. You're getting to. You're almost getting too global and too specific at the same time. It's weird.
Specifically global?
So, let's back up a little bit and talk about charts, period, and what they're useful for and why they're useful.
Okay.
And how you read them.
All right. So, what they're useful for and why they're useful.
Go. What does a chart do? What is its function? Why chart something at all? Why not just write everything out in words? Because you can't. Because any chart, that's one of the things that kind of is a novel thing when I would teach my lace class, my introduction to lace, is my learning lace pattern has no charts. It's only words. But any of those could be charted. Any of those designs that I have in there could be charted, and some people might prefer it. So if you prefer it, then you can chart it out, or you can, if something says it only has charts, okay, so get it and write it out, line for line.
It's not like chart is a completely. They're just different languages, right? And you can translate.
Right.
Anyone can.
They're not even really different languages. They're just different representations.
Right.
Of the exact same stitch.
That's how languages work. They're different representations of the exact same ideas and different structures for those representations of the exact same ideas. That's like language.
Okay, but I can look at a Japanese chart.
Right. I mean, I'm saying that if you don't know how to read a chart, it can look like a different language.
Okay.
And if you can
So
translate
it can look like
and if you can read a chart, you can translate it back into just lines.
Right. So, okay. The chart, there are lots of different ways to do charts and to have charts be done, and you really have to read your pattern.
Yes.
For charts. You really, really have to read your pattern. And just because it has a chart doesn't mean you've got smooth sailing.
we had a pattern that I really wanted to do. I still really want to do it. In fact, I charted it out. I recharted it out, and I'll explain why in a minute. Because I still want to make this scarf. But it was the scarf that I was going to make for the Double Dog Dare, Color and Life Double Dog Dare knit-along. I was going to make this scarf, but the pattern had problems. And so I couldn't quite, I couldn't follow it exactly because
and that was part of the thing for him.
It was wrong.
He could change it and make it work, but he couldn't follow the pattern, the whole pattern, and nothing but the pattern, and have it work because the designer had
a contradiction.
The chart was fine if you just read the chart as the front and the.
Yeah, here I'll explain. So, I have.
Well, I was going to go before we do that. Let's talk about basics of chart reading. Basics of chart reading is you start with the lower.
Start with the bottom. It's basically
like you're
looking at a piece of knitting, and you start here, and you kind of read it as you would knit, and then you go back across this row.
Right.
Sorry. You start here, and you go. Wait. How does it work? You end up on this side.
Okay.
So you start.
So we're not doing it so you can do it. We're doing it from our perspective.
Here.
From our perspective, you start in this corner and go across, and then you go up and come back, and then go up and go across. Now, that only works if every row is charted. Sometimes with lace charts,
that's right.
Only the front row, only the right side row is charted. So you have to pay attention.
And all the wrong side rows are just purl.
And all the wrong side rows are just purl. Or all the wrong side rows are just knit. Or there's some other direction.
And hopefully it'll tell you that.
And, wait, this gets even better. If you're working in the round, all your rows are right side rows. So, working a chart in the round, what we just described to you is only working a chart flat. That's only flat work. If you're working it around, you go here, and then you go back, and then you go back, and you go back. That's how you do it in the round. Because you're always starting from this one point facing you. You're always looking at the front side of the fabric.
Yep.
So, you have some more things you want to say about that?
Yes. So, we had a discussion about this I say discussion.
Yeah.
But we had a discussion about this in deciding what chart to use, what kind of chart and what style of chart to use for our pattern. And
that's coming up.
Yeah, so if you just take this chart and this key, which
can they see that?
Let me double check that they can see. Yeah, they can see it. So if you just take this chart and this key, the little square there is the chart, and then that key, that chart will have you do garter stitch. Because all of the stitches are blank, right? So you'll knit the first row, first row, and then...
They can't quite see.
You'll knit the first row, and then you'll be on the other side, and the next row is all knits. So you'll just knit back, and then knit back. And so that'll make garter.
Because when you look at an empty square, it's always knit.
Mm-hmm.
For this.
Yeah, and this is a flat chart.
And for that pattern.
And so, but if you do this chart with this pattern with this key right over here that says
Nope,
a
you
blank
didn't
square.
hold it for long enough.
Well, and that key says a blank square is knit on the right side but purl on the wrong side, and a dot is purl on the right side and knit on the wrong side, then this is stockinette. Because on the right side you'll knit, and then on the back side you'll see that they're blank, which means you need to purl. So you'll purl back, and then you'll knit, and then you'll purl back.
So you're talking about
knit.
this chart with this key.
Yep.
Okay.
And so the two different keys tell you that this is a different stitch. It's either stockinette or garter.
It's either knit or purl.
Yeah, exactly.
So depending on which keys you use, this blank square becomes either stockinette or garter.
Yep. And the same thing with this chart. See, this chart, it looks like garter. So if you use this key right here, then it is. Because you'll knit, and then on the back side, you have dot boxes, which are purl on the right side, knit on the wrong side. So you'll be on the wrong side, and you'll knit. And so you'll only be doing knits. And if you do this key, then this chart is stockinette.
So it's interesting how charts can really work and help make things clear, or how they can become very confusing sometimes.
Yes, because there's no one way to chart. People
Right.
do not. There is no agency of standardized charting that makes it all.
There's not. There are a few
that
conventions.
makes it all correct and.
There are a few conventions
Yeah,
that most people use.
Oftentimes, the stitches are represented the same. Like a blank square is a knit stitch, and then like a dot or a dash is like a purl stitch, and then you'll have a
slip stitch.
Yeah, it could be. So then a dot would be a purl stitch. Usually it's like a dot is a purl stitch. And then lambda is like a slip knit, or a reverse lambda is knit two together. Wait, sorry. Lambda is knit two together. Reverse lambda is slip knit.
So
that's important to me. That's important to me because we all know that lambda is a Greek letter, and Greek letters are used to represent certain things in mathematics, such as lambda is used in. Do you want me to stop?
Tangent. Charts.
Right, charts. So, yeah, lambda, and then like there's like a lambda with a little thing in the middle, and that's going to be like a knit three together, or a slip knit. Or a center double decrease sometimes is what they'll do.
But you have to look at the chart.
You have to look at the key. You have to read the key.
Right.
But that's like usually those are the...
The problem with that one chart
standards.
Was...
Oh yeah, and a circle is a yarn over. It's a little... That's like a little O.
The problem with the chart that... The problem with the pattern that he was wanting to do is that the design...
Key conflicted with the chart. It was...
The key was a right side, wrong side. But you had to presume the right side was whatever fabric you were looking at. So while you were... Just a second.
It's too complicated.
No, it's not. So instead of the right side being the right side, it was whatever side you were looking at was the right side. As long as you did that, you could work the chart just fine. However, she very specifically defined in her pattern the right side of the work as the front side facing and the wrong side as the inside. So then that didn't make the chart work at all.
Yep.
So anyway.
So
a kind of small thing, but it really messed us up for a while.
Yeah, it was confusing.
Until we figured it out.
I usually prefer the chart on this chart, and this key, because this chart, it's generally easier to see. This chart and this key, I find it easier to see what it looks like. In fact, I find it easier to see that like this key in general makes it so that you can see what the chart looks like.
One that has different directions on each side.
Yeah, the one that has different directions for each side. because then you can put what the stitches look like on the right side in the chart, and then you can look at the chart and see kind of what it's supposed to look like.
Right. And that's a valid way of doing it. Usually, charts aren't completely clean one way or the other. Sometimes there's directions that if you have this, that's the stitch. Doesn't matter which side of the fabric you're on, that's the stitch you do.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we have some of those in our pattern.
So, yep, that is...
Charts can get complicated. We will have charts in our design, so if you don't like charts, I'm sorry.
Are you?
That you don't like charts, yes. Because I think charts can be very useful. I understand when it's like...
No, I mean...
here's the chart. Figure it out. That can be like...
Yeah, that's...
what? I think if you're going to put charts in, you need to be very responsible. Designing, if you design with charts, you should be responsible and make it clear.
Chart responsibly.
Chart responsibly. Wow. Okay. So, all right. Anything else? Do we have?
Yeah, I think we have questions for our viewers.
Okay, what are our questions?
What is your opinion of charts? Do you like them? Do you hate them? Have you ever written up a line pattern for chart, or vice versa? Have you ever written up...
taken a chart and turned it into a line-by-line pattern?
line-by-line patterns? And did our explanation of charts help? Are you now more confused than you were, or less? Or is it about the same? Please let us know.
Or was this kind of redundant and you're like, why are they
I knew what you were talking about.
Why are they talking about charts? And it might have stirred some very passionate feelings in you. Because sometimes I have found some people very, very passionate about charts. And
in which case, please don't rage.
Don't rage, but please share.
Please share.
We're always curious what people think. Don't rage at us, but you can share. What else?
I think that's it. I don't think we have any questions for our viewers.
From our viewers.
From our viewers.
I don't think we had any questions from viewers.
So that's it?
We can go check. Hang on.
No, I don't.
Yes, there is a question.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Let me, what is
so
the
we have a question. Okay.
Okay, so I will read the question. So it looks like we have a question from our viewers.
From
Ruth Rabbit? Ruth Rabbit.
Ruth Rabbit asked us a question.
Have you seen the Berlin knitting design competition? Is that?
Nope.
No? Is that it?
I have not.
Is that what that is though? I always thought Berlin was spelled with an E.
Yeah, Birlinn.
Okay.
I guess.
With a fabulous holiday as the prize, maybe you should enter J or JM. Deadline 18th of August. Oh no! Ooh. That's 4 days.
We will look it up.
Yeah, we might.
We haven't seen that.
You know what? We might be able to do that.
Maybe. Huh. Okay. Well, we'll look into it.
Yes, we will.
And should we let her know what we think of it on the next questions from viewers?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is to be continued. Questions from viewers.
Yes.
All right, Ruth, we will let you know. Okay, Ruth Rabbit. I love saying the whole name. Ruth Rabbit. Makes me happy.
Until next time.
Have a colorful life.
bicycle.
What?
Too tired.
That's wrong. Hey, we
You're
got
welcome.
an Easter egg.
You're welcome. Ah. Good old Galaxy Quest.